Alrighty boys, welcome back to the video. Now today we're going to be covering an absolute beast of a build for the SA-58. This thing gets down to 60 vertical recoil, which for a gun that's firing fully automatic 308 is very good. Now technically you can get this down to 56 and I'm going to show you guys how to do that, but I doubt any of you guys will be running that because it's pretty janky to say the least. All right, so we'll get to that one a little bit later in the video. First, let's go over how to build this in a way that's actually usable. So you'll kind of notice, if you guys have built meta SA-58s before, one of the major parts has actually changed, and that is the stock we're actually using here. So we've swapped from using the DSA SPR stock, which has previously been the best in slot for the stock sort of part of the SA-58. We're now swapping over to actually using the Mesa tactical tube and the buffer tube adapter. So buffer tube adapter, for that we're then adding in the Mesa crosshair, which luckily you can actually buy from traders, so this thing isn't ridiculously expensive, which often happens with all of the new kind of meta stuff that comes out. And then on top of that, using an HK1, again being the best in slot for those kind of buffer tube adapted stocks there. So this together here gives a massive reduction in recoil, and then obviously on top of that we're using the 21-inch barrel as well as the blast mitigation device setup, which consists of the thread adapter for the Lantag blast mitigation device, the Lantag Dragon, and then also the Lantag blast mitigation device. God, tongue twisters boys, fucking love them. And on top of that, guys, obviously the RK2 being the best in slot for the foregrips is what's going to be slapped on the front here. We also have an XO400 just for a tactical device, but again, you guys can swap this off for anything else. I like this or the HoloSun LS321 just because you can use them. They're pretty cheap, and the HoloSun in particular has the red flashlight function, which is probably one of my favorites to actually use. So yeah, but XO400 looks cool. Anyway, so getting on to one of the main parts that I sort of alluded to right at the start of the video, guys, talking about how sights actually reduce your recoil. So you'll see at the moment we are sitting at 60 and we have the HHS EOTech sight on here. Now, if I swap this off to a more common sight that you guys are probably used to, like the Vortex Razor, you will see we actually jumped up recoil. That's pretty weird. There's not a lot of stocks, there's not a lot of sights that will actually do this, but the biggest ones to keep in mind here, guys, are the Cobra EKP and then also the HHS in both tan and the black variants here. So very common ones to sort of find around if you are on if you're on labs and you're fighting raiders and stuff. And they actually do give a reduction in recoil. So they are one thing that give it. Another thing that gives it in a way bigger form is slapping on this beastie bastard of a scope right here. Now this gets us all the way down to 56 recoil. Now don't get me wrong, boys, I'm not one to judge if you guys want to rock this, but that's a pretty big separation between where your barrel is and where your actual sight is. So you're gonna need to be aiming actually over their head at close distances if you're gonna be hitting any kind of shot with this. So in my humble opinion, I don't think this is worthwhile, but hey, 56 recoil could be worth, you never know. But yeah, if you guys, I don't know, you're wanting to do some sniping or something on woods, hey, give it a crack. I'd love to see some clips if you've got them. With this one here though, I would usually say to go with the HHS. You can go with the Cobra sight, but I find the red dot on it is incredibly dull. So if you're outside somewhere like customs, I mean, you can barely ever actually see the thing, so you end up kind of firing blind. Can you see my issue with the Cobra? I mean, I don't know about you boys, but I can't see shit. I can't, like, you can kind of see it when you get that one on there, but the red dot is just so hard to see if you're up against anything that's bright at all. So yeah, at range in outdoor maps, pretty arse. If you're indoors though, if you're looking at stuff like this, you know, fairly obvious, but yeah, when you get bright, man, that thing just disappears off your screen. Now, a good alternative to this, obviously, being the HHS, the one thing with this is you'll actually notice this versus a regular holographic sight, you are way further zoomed in. This has been a bug for a long time. I don't know why exactly this hasn't been fixed, but you seem to still have your face really close up against this sight. Now, I actually like having that toggle sight, but being this zoomed in is really annoying. You pretty much end up putting your chin up against the back side of the gun here instead of on the cheek well, and I don't know, it makes this sight for me pretty much unusable. And I think that's why you don't see this in meta. Otherwise, I think this would be the meta sight in Escape from Tarkov if it actually worked correctly as a holographic once you toggled that zoom off. Right, now obviously up close this one is very good at full autoing. Sorry, we'll just get the flashlights and stuff off there and get us into full auto. And you can easily dump targets at this range, and once you're firing, when you've got past that kind of initial kick that it gives, you can pretty much consistently swap between, targets without too much issue with this gun. It is very low recoil compared to, obviously, its unmodded part. But if you get to very kind of long ranges, you're probably not going to want to be doing that so much. You're going to be wanting to stick to single fire. Keep double tapping B there and bloody meleeing. But you can full auto. Just note you're probably going to want to either crouch down like this and full auto, or if you're really, wanting to just nail someone at long range, you're going to want to prone. You can't actually do that in the hideout, but you want to prone down, get your recoil as low as possible, and then you can start thinking about full auto dumping someone. Alright boys, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a sub down below. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs, and then when we get all the way up to 10k, I know it's a huge goal, but we will be giving away 10 copies of Escape from Tarkov. So if you want to get one, either to give off to a friend or, use for yourself if you guys haven't got the game yet, make sure to drop a sub down below, and then also join Discord, because that's where we're going to sort of tell you guys when that is going live. Or just, keep checking my bloody sub count each day, and then you guys will have a pretty good idea. But yeah, thanks for sticking around the video, boys. Much appreciated. Peace out. I will see you on the next one, and yeah, have a good day, boys.